What's up everyone, Ben Murphy here, and today I have this BMW M4 with me and we're going to do a full review on this car. So first, let's talk history of the BMW M4. So this was first introduced in 2014, the BMW M4 was first introduced in 2014, and it's the successor to the M3 Coupe. So the M3 Coupe, the older M3 Coupe is now renamed the M4. The M3 still keeps its name, but it's just a sedan, and the M4 is longer and wider than the M3 Coupe. Instead of having a naturally aspirated V8 like the older M3s had, this has a twin turbo inline 6. So now let's talk about the color of this car. So the color of this car is Yas Marina Blue. This is a bit of a special color because you can only get it on M cars and you can only get it on the BMW M3 and the BMW M4. So now if we walk around to the front of the car, we can talk about the design and yeah. So when you walk around to the front of the car, you can see it's got the classic BMW kidney-shaped grills right here. You got the chrome on the outside. I would like if these were black. This would make it look more aggressive if it was black, but it still looks really aggressive. I like this kind of how the headlights look right here. And then if you come down here, you have these vents right here that allow airflow through here, and this kind of integrated, I guess you could say, splitter kind of on the front fascia. It helps air go through the vents, but it also helps with downforce as well. So now if we walk around to, well, before we walk around to the side, the hood, you see it's got these body lines right here, makes the hood look aggressive, and I really like this kind of bulge right here. I like this a lot. I like the way it looks on the hood. So now if we walk around to the side of the car, first you'll see the wheels, 19-inch rims right here. You got your 4-piston M brake calipers right there, the blue brake calipers. And yeah, so now we come along right here, you'll see we have this kind of fender vent right here. I really like the design this adds right here. You got your M4 badge right here. You got your M4 badge up front on the grills as well. And if we come here to the mirrors, you see you have the carbon fiber mirror caps. And then you have your carbon fiber hood as well. And the full drive shaft is made of carbon fiber as well, and so is the trunk lid. So now, see, you have a body line here running along the side of the car. And then if we come around to the back, see, you've got your M4 badge here, another M4 badge. And the back looks really good, looks really aggressive. You got your quad tip exhaust. I really like the way these look, and these do emit a really good sound. We'll show that later on in the video. And then you have your trunk. So if we open up the trunk, you'll see you've got a good amount of trunk space for a sports car. You can't fit a full bag of golf clubs in here and still have some space up front. And there's a little bit of space back here for other smaller items. So now let's talk about what's under the hood and what's powering this BMW M4. So under the hood of this BMW M4, you've got your 3-liter twin turbo inline 6, making 425 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. And it does 0 to 60 right under 4 seconds in 3.9 seconds. So you can see you have this carbon fiber strut brace right here. I really like the way this looks, the carbon fiber right here. You have your engine cover right here, another M badge, M power right there. And that's really it for under the hood. So yeah, let's hop into the interior of the car and see what the interior is like. So the first thing you notice when you hop inside this BMW M4 is you've got this nice screen right here controlled by this thing right here. This little, you can do a scroll up and down by just scrolling and then press down to select. And you also have these buttons that control the screen, the menu, media, radio, TEL for telephone, and your nav for navigation. And so now if we move over to the kind of instrument cluster right here, you've got your speedometer right here, your tachometer right here, shows you what mode you're in, and it also shows you what modes you have your suspension, steering, and throttle response set to as well down there. Well, that shows you what gear you're in, so like the park and all that. And then you have a digital display of your speed. This car also does come with a heads-up display. It shows the speed limit of the current road you're on and the speed that you're currently going. So now, as you can see, we have carbon fiber accents right here and down here as well. I really like this. It makes it looks really good in the car. And then there's leather everywhere with the stitching as well. You have it all along up here. Even got it on the door handles. Got the stitching on the door handles as well. And the steering wheel is made of, it's full leather. You have your M colored stitching on the steering wheel right here. And now let's talk about the seats. So the seats are very comfortable and they do hold you in place as well. And these, I don't think people do realize this enough, but these seats are actually really comfortable and they're just snug. They hold you in place and they are power adjusted to move them back and forth. And you do have 2 memory settings on the seats. And if we look back behind the seat at this kind of M badge right here, this does light up. You can't really see it during the day, but that does light up. So now let's move into the back seat of this car. Actually, first, we do have all your climate control to control up and down the radio, the mute button. If you just press that down, it unmutes. You got your climate control, nice and easy to use. Heated seats, just your normal average BMWs. If you've been in a BMW before, you'll feel completely at home right here because it's just the normal average BMW. And then you got your 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and this you can get this in a 6-speed manual as well. So now let's hop into the back seats and see how much room is back there. All right, so here we are in the back seat of the BMW M4. It's actually very roomy back here, and the back seats are actually practical. I am 6'3". This seat is farther back than the passenger seat, and I do still have leg room. I've got plenty of leg room. Obviously, headroom is a little limited, but because it's a coupe, that is expected. And yeah, I mean, back seats are very functional actually for a coupe. You have this little storage area right here. You do have like these little vents right here down below that you control the temperature in. Right here, these vents right here, open and close them. Control the temperature with this. And that's really it for the back seats. There's not too much back here, but they are actually functional. They do fit a good size person back here. So for that, let's get into the driving of this car and see what this car is like to drive. So one additional thing I did not cover is that these 2 things right here, you pull this and then you pull this right here. You can put both of the back seats down to have more trunk space. So if we go around to the back seats, just pull it down and they come down to have more trunk space. So there you go. I know they are a little slanted, but it does allow for some more trunk space if you want to put the back seats down and have some more room. So now we're going to start up this car and take it for a drive. But I'm going to start up the car in efficient mode, and then I'm going to change it to sport mode and tap the gas a little bit, and you'll be able to notice a big difference in that, a big change in sound. So one good thing about this car is that the screen right here, you can have it set to display kind of your sport, your horsepower and your torque. You can have it set to display that. And one thing about this car is that you can change each individual kind of setting separately to personalize your driving. So you can change the throttle response separately, your steering tightness, and your suspension stiffness. All just down here. They're all down here. Your throttle response is your first button, your suspension is your second, and your steering is your third. So now we're going on a back road right now, but first I'm just going to put all of this into Sport Plus, and I'll change it to manual. And these this car really does accelerate, really gets going. And in Sport Plus, the steering is very precise and responsive. I know some people are kind of worried about the power assist steering, how it may not feel, I don't know, super, maybe not connected to the road, but I don't think you need to worry about that. It feels really good. The M steering wheel feels great. BMW always does a really good job with their steering wheels. And as we're going into this corner right now, the handling on this car is very good. It has amazing handling. And so one other thing about the kind of settings of this car, to say you want everything to be in sport, you can use these two buttons on the steering wheel. They say M1 and M2. So say you set everything to sport, you hold the M1 button down and you'll hear a little ding, and it's kind of a preset. So whenever you start the car up and you want everything to be in sport, you can just press M1, it'll immediately go there. Yeah, this car, just the handling on this thing is just absolutely amazing. And the steering is nice and tight, and just it's so responsive when you are steering. Like as soon as you turn the steering wheel, it goes right where you want it to go. It's just such a good driving experience to drive this car. This car is so fun to drive, and honestly, you cannot get the full benefits of driving this car out on the road. This car really does belong on a track to get the full benefits of driving this car. But it does handle these back roads really well, and you can take these corners pretty quickly.
You're still good.
Man, when you really get on the throttle, this car, it is ready to go. It's just such a great driving experience. And going into these corners with the Sport Plus suspension, like this car is still, it's a firm ride, but it's still not so firm that it's uncomfortable. And in comfort mode, I mean, it's still firm. It is a sports car, but yeah, it's gonna be firm because it's a sports car, but it's not to an uncomfortable degree. You can still daily drive this car. And taking these corners, these seats are really comfortable, and they do hold you in place really well when taking these corners. And whenever you get on the gas coming out of these corners, it just seems to like carry you through the corners. Like it's such a fun car to drive. With the paddle shifters of this car, the downshifts and upshifts happen instantly. It's such a, the dual clutch transmission is so good. So there you go, that's what it's like to drive a BMW M4. This is kind of gonna wrap up the review of this car. So what I think of this car, this is definitely you can definitely daily drive this car. It's definitely a daily drivable car, but it has the performance it has the very good performance, and you can definitely take this on the track as well to really unlock all of its power and use all of its power. This is definitely more suited for the track, but it is a daily drivable car. The seats are very comfortable. They hold you in place. It's got plenty of trunk space, and that's about it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Drop a like on the video if you liked it, and comment down below, would you want a BMW M4? And comment down below if you have any questions and any other video ideas. And just like that, I will see you guys in the next video.